All right, let's talk about something that every single trader is looking for, a model that actually works. But here's the real kicker. Even when you find one, are you going to be able to follow it? Today, we're going to break down how you build that rock-solid confidence you need to execute your plan perfectly, every single time.
You've seen this happen, right? It's the ultimate paradox. You have a strategy that you've tested, you know it works on paper, but for some reason your account balance just doesn't agree. So what's the big disconnect? Why does a winning model so often fail to create a winning trader?
And this quote from our source material absolutely nails it. See, the real battle isn't with the charts or the indicators. It's all happening inside your own head. The mere influence of money unleashes these powerful psychological forces that can just completely wreck even the most brilliant trading plan. So here's our roadmap for this explainer. First, we'll tackle the single biggest hurdle every trader faces. Then, we'll identify the 4 internal enemies that are trying to sabotage you. After that, we'll build a solid framework for trust. And finally, we'll talk about how to truly master your trading self.
Okay, let's get right to it. Here's the fundamental truth you have to accept. The biggest thing standing between you and consistent profits, it's not some secret market algorithm, it's not the news, it's the person staring back at you in the reflection of your computer screen.
You know, so many of us get caught up hunting for that holy grail strategy, but that's really just a distraction. The real work, the work that actually leads to success, is conquering your own internal state. It's about knowing yourself so well that you literally can't get in your own way.
So if the battle is all internal, who exactly are we fighting against? Well, the source breaks it down into 4 main enemies, 4 huge psychological roadblocks that every trader has to learn to spot and overcome if they want to be consistent.
And here they are, the usual suspects: impatience, impulsiveness, fear, and greed. And what's really interesting is that they tend to pop up in exactly that order. So let's break down each one and, more importantly, figure out the cure.
First up, impatience. Oh, we all know this feeling. It's that pit in your stomach, that frantic voice screaming, "The move is happening without you, you have to get in now." It's the fear of missing out, FOMO, and it is an absolute weapon against your trading account. It makes you rush. It makes you jump into trades you have no business being in.
Now, most people think the answer is to just study more charts, but that's not it. The root cause isn't a lack of market knowledge, it's a lack of self-knowledge. The real cure is to build what the source calls pseudo-experience by journaling. You start studying your own reactions until your bad habits become just as predictable as your trading model.
And this quote just perfectly illustrates the solution. Think about a baby deer in the forest. When it senses danger, what does it do? It doesn't run around like crazy. It freezes. It becomes perfectly still. That is a skill every developing trader needs to learn. When you feel that impatient urge to do something, anything, the most profitable move is usually to do nothing at all.
Okay, enemy number 2, impulsiveness. This is what happens when you see price just taking off and you just slam the buy button. No plan, no setup, just a pure gut reaction. You're just chasing the chart, probably because of some noise you saw on social media or in a trading group.
The cure for this one is actually way more direct. Impulsiveness really just comes from not understanding how price is actually delivered. So you don't beat it with willpower. You beat it by actually sitting down and studying the mechanics of the market. Once that knowledge clicks, it just shoves impulsive reactions right out the door.
Now for the big one, fear. And I'm not just talking about the fear of losing money. This is something sneakier. It's that deep, paralyzing fear that even though you know your model works, it's not going to work for you. Not this time. That's the self-doubt that makes you hesitate, miss your entry, or even worse, cut a winning trade way too early. And the solution is not to just be more brave. That's useless advice. The solution is to build an undeniable mountain of proof. See, this fear comes from a lack of tangible evidence. So the cure is to methodically backtest and fill a journal with case study after case study of your model working over and over again. Seriously, think of your journal as your fortress against fear. It's not just some boring log of your trades, it's the story of your hard work and your successes. So when fear starts whispering in your ear, you don't fight back with feelings, you fight back with facts, the cold, hard evidence that you wrote yourself.
And finally, we've got greed. But it's not what you think. In trading, greed isn't just about wanting more money. It's really a symptom of a deep lack of trust. It's the belief that this trade is your one and only shot, that another opportunity won't come along, so you have to squeeze every last penny out of it. And that usually means breaking all your rules.
So the real antidote to greed is trust. When you truly trust your model to consistently provide you with opportunities, That desperate need to force a trade just vanishes. You take your setup, you hit your target, and you walk away. You close the charts, confident that another opportunity is right around the corner. This analogy is just perfect for understanding real growth. Nobody sprints up Mount Everest. They climb for a bit, then they stop. They set up camp, and they let their bodies get used to the new altitude. Your trading account is the exact same. You have a good run, and then you plateau. You consolidate. Pushing relentlessly out of greed is just a recipe for disaster.
Okay, so we've diagnosed the enemies. Now, let's build the system that keeps them out for good. To trade with genuine confidence, you have to be able to answer 4 very specific questions before you even think about risking your money.
These are the 4 pillars: how, what, why, and when. How is your style of trading? What is your specific, non-negotiable setup? Why is the underlying reason the market should move in your direction? And when is the specific time window where your setup is valid? If you have total clarity on these 4 points, there's no room for guessing or emotion. And let me tell you, when you can answer all 4 of these questions clearly and without hesitation, the whole game changes. Trading stops feeling like an emotional gamble, and it becomes a calm, professional, scheduled business operation. You're not hoping anymore. You are executing.
And all of this brings us to the final and most important shift in your mindset. Beating those internal enemies and building this framework of trust, that is the line that separates the struggling amateur from the disciplined professional. It's a total transformation in how you approach the markets.
I mean, just look at the difference. It's night and day. The amateur is reactive, chasing price, impulsive, and just plain hopeful. The professional is the complete opposite: patient, waiting for their setup, deliberate in their actions, and always prepared. Your entire job is to move from that first column over to the second one.
Which brings us to the final, unavoidable truth. Your trading model, once it's defined and tested, is just a tool. It's ready to do its job. The only variable left in the entire equation is you. So the ultimate question isn't whether your model's going to deliver. The question is, are you ready to finally get out of your own way and let it?